Hi everyone, my name's Nina and I'm back with my recent reads. So I have a few books to share with you today. About 7 I think is here. So I've decided to switch to recent reads instead of monthly wrap-ups, just so I don't have to hold on to this big stack of books and I can put them away. So I have 7 books here to share with you, and the first one I'm going to talk about is called The Twin by Natasha Preston. Now I had got this for Christmas and I decided to read it pretty much right away, because I tend to have the habit of getting books or buying books and then putting them on my shelf for years and not reading them. I decided to read this one so that I could tell my mom, hey, I read your gift, I liked it, or whatever. This is a young adult book that has a little mystery in it. I guess you could call this a thriller book. So it deals with 2 twin sisters. Their parents are divorced, so one lives with the mom and one lives with the dad. The mom has an accidental death, and the twin now lives with the other twin. And the one twin kind of feels like something's up with the other. So, little do we know that there is an evil twin. And that's really all I'm going to say about this. There's an evil twin. I was really unsatisfied with this ending. It made me really angry. And throughout this book, you're really told, hey, Iris, the evil twin, is super manipulative and super evil and blah, blah, blah. You're told that she's so likable, that she's so manipulative, but I don't really see it. Like, we're not told what she does to get into this crowd. Like, she starts becoming friends with her sister's friends and the cheerleaders and stuff like that, but what did she do to be so likable to them? How could they so easily turn against a friend they've known for years and go with this twin, someone they've known for a matter of weeks? I mean, I didn't really get it without having to see it. We were just told she was that good. And the ending made me angry. I was upset about it. I still think about it. I don't think this book was actually that great, but it did leave an impression because I'm angry about this. So I give this like a 2.5, 3 stars. It's not something I loved, but it did leave an impression, so that's something. Moving on, we have After by Amy Efaw. This book was kind of intimidating. I thought it was pretty thick. Now, I had no idea what this was about. If I looked closer, I could have seen that here she's pregnant, here she's not pregnant. So this deals with a teen that finds herself pregnant and hides the pregnancy, and when she has the baby, she freaks out and essentially throws the baby in the trash. And the cops find out that she has done this, and now she is suffering the consequences of her crime. And we kind of go through this whirlwind of her mind of like what happened, like why did she commit this crime, and it was very interesting. It takes you through like her mindset. Like, she was kind of denying herself that she was pregnant, so she pretended like she wasn't pregnant, but she like subconsciously knew because she took steps to hide that pregnancy. And so when the birth came, she had this panic reaction. It was a very interesting way to see teen pregnancy and see that play out. I was also angry with this ending. Spoiler alert, skip ahead a few seconds if you don't want to hear this spoiler. At the end, she really takes responsibility for her actions, and I see that that's like character development and we should be proud that she's taking responsibility, but it makes me mad because no matter what, she's getting time. She has done this. And her lawyer is like, we can throw part of this out and we can get you lesser charges. You are a kid, and, you don't need to spend your life in jail and ruin the rest of your life. And in taking responsibility, she's like, no, I'm pleading guilty and I'm going to ruin my life. And I'm like, you can still take responsibility and like better yourself without having to do that full extent. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have a nonfiction book called White Fragility. I actually got this for Christmas as well. This is written by Robin DiAngelo. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I definitely think what I read, what was it called? So You Want to Talk About Race? I thought that was a much better book. But I did enjoy this book. It definitely helped me understand some perspectives. And it was super short, so it was very fast and easy to get through. If you're interested in learning about anti-racism and stuff like that, I would recommend this book. I thought it was good. But I highly recommend So You Want to Talk About Race. This book is written by a white person. So there has been some criticism of should white people profit off of anti-racism work. You can think what you want about that. I'll leave that up to your decision. I did read the book, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was helpful. But yeah. Moving on, we have Pretty Girls by Karin. This has gotten a lot of hype for good reason. I thought it was a very good book. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. So this deals with two sisters who for years have been dealing with the grief of their third sister who was murdered, and they never found out what happened to her. She's just been missing. So these two sisters end up drifting apart from each other because one claims that the other sister's husband had tried to rape her, and this other sister is a druggie, and her word isn't very good. So they don't trust her. They think that, you know, she's just lying and making shit up. This husband ends up dying, and the other sister goes through her husband's shit, like, you know, let's clean up, you know, he's dead now. And she finds some very concerning stuff. She finds porn that ends in murder, and she starts to question if that is real or not. And if this is real, what was her husband into? Did he know this was real? Did he create this porn? Did he actually rape her sister? And it ends up getting very gruesome. They end up finding out what happened to their third sister. It gets very graphic. And as a woman, it was very hard to read because, you know, this stuff is an everyday in our minds type of thing. Like, this could be reality for us. I think reading as a man would be a lot different and a lot more worthwhile. As a woman, I really enjoyed the book, but it was also alarming and scary. I enjoyed it. But if you're sensitive to topics such as rape, I would pass on this one for you. That's all I have to say. Next, we have part of a series. We have Sister's Fate and Star Cursed by Jessica Spotswood. Now, I read Born Wicked last year in 2020, loved it, and I ended up being able to get these other two. I borrowed this from a friend, and my library had gotten rid of this one, so I bought it off my library. And this was a fantastic series. It deals with 3 sisters who are witches, and it's set back in historical times. So, you know, witches are being persecuted, and they have the power to either stop it and bring witches up in power, or they may crumble and fall and expose all the witches and ruin everything. I thought this was a really good series. I really enjoyed these. I ate these books up. I would give these like 4.5 stars, so I enjoyed it. The last book I have to share with you is Pretending to be Erica by Michelle Painshaw. I don't know how you say that last name. I really liked the cover of this book. I thought that was really interesting. That's why I picked it up. This is also a young adult novel. Actually, all of my books were except for the Karin Slaughter book and the nonfiction book. So this is a young adult novel that deals with a young girl who is like the daughter of a con artist, and she is getting ready for her biggest con ever, pretending to be this young girl, Erica, who was kidnapped as a child and murdered, and her family has never found the body, so they held out hope that Erica is still alive. This family is very wealthy and has a very profitable painting that this woman hopes to steal by pretending to be their missing daughter. I thought it was an okay book. I definitely thought the plot was more enticing than the execution, but this was a young adult novel. I think if it was an adult novel, it would definitely be more intense and more exciting. But as a young adult novel, it was very like mild. It was very contemporary feeling to it. I enjoyed it, but I would give it like a 3 stars. So this is everything that I've read. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you've read this month, or if you've read any of these books. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.